What made you believe that Frankenweenie could work as a full feature film?
For me, coming onto it sort of when I did, it just seemed like Tim was brimming with ideas about how he wanted to open it up. I always felt like when I watched the short, I wanted more. Like it was such a great short, but you're just gonna, I want to know what more about that dog.
It's incredible for a short
it
film,
is,
30 minutes only.
And so beautifully done. So to me, it seemed like a storyline that was sort of ripe for opening up. And then it turned out that Tim had tons of ideas back in the day where he wanted to open it up further. And so, yeah. It seemed like a good idea.
And a chance for Tim to lead with his artistry, to kind of break some boundaries with this film and have him lead with his kind of vision for what animation can do.
Mm-hmm. Disney rejected Tim Burton because of this 80s short film. Wasn't it ironic to see the remake of it for the same studio?
Yeah, I think it is. It is, but times change. People change, the audience has changed, the studio has.
Alice in Wonderland happened also.
Alice in Wonderland, it doesn't hurt.
Nightmare Before Christmas happened at Disney as well. So,
yeah, Nightmare's become a...
And it seems like to me at the time, Don has said it, they didn't know what to do with him. It wasn't so much that they were, rejecting him. It was just that they really weren't making the kinds of things, there wasn't a good fit for him there at that time. But now it seems like Disney and all the studios are becoming much more diverse, and so they're open to different kinds of filmmaking. I think it was nice to see them have that about face.
Mm-hmm. The puppets in Frankenweenie look like animated sketches during various scenes. They have this strange roughness that has to do mostly with black and white, I guess. Was that intentional?
Very intentional. I think, these are really drawn. Tim would do a sketch and then we'd make a puppet from that sketch, and we were trying to kind of get the brilliant innocence that Tim can get into his every drawing that he makes tells you everything you need to know about the character and the personality. So we're trying to kind of not lose any of that when we went to the finished puppet. So a lot of the roughness, also on Corpse Bride, people kept saying, "Oh, I love it. It looks like beautiful CGI." And we were like, "Okay, well, I take that as a compliment in many ways, but also we want people to see the hash marks, the fingerprints, the textures." And so on this, we really tried to keep as much of that in. The black and white made it difficult because sometimes black and white can really heighten the contrast. But I think we tried to walk that fine line between seeing that handmade quality and yet feeling like it comes to life.
The weak box office opening in the States doesn't scare you, I'm sure. See what happened with The Nightmare Before Christmas. But it might cause trouble for future projects to get the green light, even if the film has the potential to be a timeless classic for the genre. I mean, how do you think about all this?
It's, to me...
The politics of the studios. Frankenweenie opened weekly. This won't work again. You're not doing it, and stuff like that.
For me, the contract one has with these studios is, you really, it is a business and needs to be sort of cost effective for everyone. But the budgets for these movies are really quite low compared to other animated movies, which I think gives us the freedom to make stories that are a little bit more unique and independent, and where audiences are going to have to find the movie. It's not going to be a big blockbuster, brightly colored billboards everywhere. This is really a piece of art and a beautiful treasure for people. And so I feel like the studios are, it's a back and forth. I think that the box office was not as robust as we would have liked it, but it wasn't it wasn't a huge disappointment. We always knew this was going to be a movie that grew, that was a classic for generations. And I feel like we're not. That's why I think we're not afraid of that performance, because it was not that surprising.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Have you ever tried to pursue other directors to work for stop-motion animated projects? Wes Anderson and Mr. Fox was a brilliant example. Sure. And it's quite interesting because he and Tim Burton have a totally unique visual style as filmmakers.
Yeah, no, I would say...
Would you care to try this again?
Don't try this at all. I would say that it's almost like the way you phrased it. I don't think you ever have to go and find directors to want to do this, because they all want to do it. I feel like I have so many directors that are sort of finding me to say, I would love to make a movie, because I think there's something about this medium, which is evidenced by Fox and by this, that the medium just is completely chameleon-like. It can embody any vision of the visionary at the helm. So I think lots of people see the kind of, from between the Aardman movies, the Henry Selick movies, Tim's movies, the Leica movies, they're so unique in their visuals that I think a lot of directors are actually drawn to it. So I think you can expect to see lots of new and different directors dabbling in this field.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.